previous video, we learned the meaning of microeconomics, types of economic system, that is market economy, centrally planned economy, and mixed economy, and the central problems faced by an economy, that is what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. In this video, we are going to learn the solution to solve the economic problem. Let's begin the session now. In the previous session, we learned that human wants are unlimited but resources are limited. So every economy faces the central problem. So it has to find a solution to solve this problem. Production possibility curve provides a medium to address the problem of what to produce. Okay, actually there are three central problems in an economy: what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. So this production possibility curve helps to solve the problem of what to produce. Production possibility curve is a curve which shows the various alternative production possibilities of two goods that can be produced with given resources and technique of production. To address the problem of what to produce, first we must know the different combination of various goods. This production possibility curve and schedule gives the combination of goods to choose. This is very important concept in microeconomics. The other name for production possibility curve is transformation curve or production possibility frontier. It is an important tool to solve the central problem of an economy. This tabular column will help us to understand the production possibility curve in a better way. Here is the schedule of production possibility curve. This tabular column shows two combination of goods produced in an economy. The one is cloth, other one is wheat. Suppose an economy wants to increase the production of cloth, then it has to sacrifice the production of wheat. So in this schedule you can see in the first case, that is in the combination of A, there is no cloth production. Cloth production is 0 and wheat production is 15 million tons. Suppose if we want to increase the production of cloth, that is B combination, you check in that if they want to produce 1 million meter of cloth, they have to sacrifice 1 million quintal of wheat. Likewise, you see the combination of C. Suppose if they want to increase the cloth production to 2 million meter, they have to reduce the wheat production to 2 more million quintals. Okay, so likewise every combination, when suppose when one good is increased, the other good has to be sacrificed. Only then the economy can produce. This is called production possibility curve. Now let's see how to derive marginal opportunity cost of cloth. Opportunity cost means it is the cost of best alternative forgone. Here, since there are two products, if we want to produce one product, we have to sacrifice the other one. That is the meaning of opportunity cost. Suppose if we want to produce cloth, which one we have to sacrifice? Wheat has to be sacrificed. So how to calculate MOC using formula, I will teach you. First, let's see the formula to calculate MOC, that is marginal opportunity cost. The formula to calculate MOC is change in good Y by change in good X. Here, good Y is wheat and good X is cloth. So, first case, there is no change. So, second case you take. So, the change in wheat is good Y is 15 minus 14, you will get 1. And the change in cloth production is 1 minus 0, 1. So here change in good Y by change in good X is 1 divided by 1. You will get MOC as 1. In the same way, we have to calculate for all the combinations. In combination C, if we take the change in wheat production, that is from B to C, is 14 minus 12, you will get 2, and the change in cloth, that is cloth production increased by 1 to 2, that is there also change is 1. So 2 divided by 1, you will get 2. In the fourth combination D, if we see, the wheat production decreased from 12 to 9. So there is the difference of 3. 12 minus 9, 3. And in cloth production, there is an increase in 1 million meter, that is 2 million to 3 million. So 3 minus 2 is 1. So change in good y by change in x, you will get 3 divided by 1, that is 3. In the same way, we can calculate MOC for all the combinations. So it is very simple formula. It is nothing but the change in good y by change in good x. So when one good is increasing, the other good is decreasing. So we have to sacrifice one good to produce the other good. So that is the concept of production possibility. So this will help to remove the problem of what to produce. Usually in economics, we will have some assumptions to derive any law. So here, to prove production possibility curve, here we have listed few assumptions. So based on these assumptions only, we are proving production possibility curve. The first assumption is the resources available are fixed. Okay, so here we are assuming that the resources, that is capital resources, human resources, physical resources, are available in fixed, and the technology remains unchanged. So here we are assuming that the technology is constant. Suppose if the technology is improved, so the PPC curve will shift to the right. So here we are assuming that it is unchanged and the resources are fully employed. So all the resources are fully employed. That is also one of the assumptions we are taking here. The last assumption here we use is the MOC is increasing, that is marginal opportunity cost increases. So if we see the tabular column, the MOC will be in increasing nature. What does that implies means all the resources are equally efficient in production. So if resources are transferred from the production of one good to another, the MOC will increase. See, in this tabular column, the MOC is in increasing nature, that is it increases from 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Here is the production possibility curve, which is drawn using the production possibility schedule, which is shown in the previous slide. So x-axis shows cloth production, y-axis shows wheat production. So the combinations are shown as A, B, C, D, E and F. So in the first combination, when wheat production is 15, the cloth production is 0. So it is touching the 0 axis. Next is when the wheat production is 14, the cloth production is 1. And when the wheat production is 12, the cloth production is 2, increased by 2. When the wheat production decreased by 9, the cloth production increased by 1 more, that is 3. And when the wheat production is 5 tons, it is decreased by 5 tons, the cloth production increased by 1 more ton, that is 5. So this is how production possibility curve is drawn using the production possibility schedule. Now let's see the properties of PPC curve. So it is a downward sloping curve from left to right. So in the previous slide I showed you the curve how to draw when one product increases, the other product decreases. So it is sloping downwards. So the reason we have to write why it is sloping downwards, it is because to increase in production of one good, we have to decrease the production of the other. So it is inversely related. So good y and good x are inversely related. So PPC is negatively sloped. The shape of production possibility curve is concave to the origin. So the main reason why it is concave to the origin means the marginal opportunity cost tends to rise. Here is in this example we have seen that MOC rises from 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. That's why it is concave to the origin. Sometimes if it is MOC is constant in nature, that is all the values are 2 or 3 same value, the production possibility curve will be a straight line. At the same time, if the values are decreasing, then production possibility curve will be convex in nature. So far we were saying MOC is increasing, MO is decreasing, MO is constant. So what is MOC? So this marginal opportunity cost is the rate at which quantity of output of one commodity is sacrificed to produce one more unit of the other commodity. That is, in simple terms, opportunity cost is the next best alternative for corn. Suppose if you want to produce wheat, what we have to sacrifice? Cloth production should be sacrificed. Suppose if you want to produce cloth, wheat production must be sacrificed. That is called marginal opportunity cost. So when one good is increasing, the other good is decreasing. So this may be, sometimes it may be increasing in nature, sometimes may be decreasing in nature, sometimes it may be constant in nature. Here, production possibility curve, we are assuming that it is concave in nature. That is, when one good is increasing, the other good is decreasing. That's why it is concave in nature. Look at this picture, it will explain the opportunity cost. See, you study late night for a final exam. The next day, you are very sleepy. Your opportunity cost is a good night's sleep. Okay, so since you have sacrificed your sleep, the next day you feel sleepy, but you have to sacrifice your sleep to score well. So that is the opportunity cost. So if you sacrifice your night sleep, you can score well. This is the meaning of opportunity cost. We have to sacrifice one to gain the other one. As I said, the shape of PPC depends upon the marginal rate of transformation. If MRT is rising, PPC will be concave to the origin. If MRT is constant, PPC will be straight line. If MRT is falling, then PPC will be convex to the origin, which I said you already. So you have to remember, shape of PPC depends upon the marginal rate of transformation. So marginal opportunity cost, marginal transformation, both are the same. Now this PPC is tend to rotate. So it will not be in the same position. So it may rotate. So that is, keeping one position constant, the other position alone it will rotate. So under two conditions, PPC curve will rotate. The first condition, when there is improvement in the technology in favor of one commodity, there is a tendency of PPC curve to rotate. Here we can assume that the technology in cloth production increases, whereas technology in wheat production remains constant. In such case, wheat does not change, whereas the position of cloth alone changes. Here it represents the technology used in cloth production increases. That's why it is moving to the right side, whereas the technology used in wheat remains the same. So it does not change the place. This is called rotation. One more reason for the rotation of PPC is growth of one resource for the production may be increased. Now here the growth of resources, we mean the inflow of foreign capital or better technology or migration of people from one country to the other country, or discovery of new resources, for example discovery of a new mine or something. So these resources are available in more. There is possibility of one particular commodity alone to shift to the right, the other one remaining the same. There is possibility of shift of PPC also for the same reason. So shift is completely different from rotation of PPC. So shift means due to the technological improvement or migration of people from other country or inflow of foreign capital, the total both the commodities may shift to the right. So look at the picture. So when it is shifting, the PPC curve moves totally from AB to A1 B1. Now we are going to discuss the important concept in economics, that is opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is the amount of other commodity that has been foregone in order to produce the first, as the production of all goods cannot be increased simultaneously. So look at this picture. The amount of pineapple is given up. So why they have given up the amount of pineapples means he has to produce more amount of fish. if he want to produce more fish, he has to give a pineapple. So simultaneously both fish and pineapple cannot be produced or increased. So this is called opportunity cost. So the cost involved to one commodity is given up, that cost is called opportunity cost. There is another term used for this, that is called economic cost. Economics may also be classified on the basis of whether it is an analysis of fact or an analysis based on value judgment. Accordingly, there are positive and normative economics. Economics may be both positive as well as normative. If it is positive economics, so it should be accurate as much as possible. So it should give clear picture what is, what will be, when it has done. So these description must be there in the positive economics, whereas normative economics are just opinion based. Normative economics is focused on what we believe or ought to be. That is, normative economics express a subjective opinion and involve our value judgment about how things should be. Okay, so for example, what should be the best way to reduce poverty and unemployment? Just we can give the opinion, we need not confirm the description. So just we can give our opinion. So this is the example for normative economics. So the examples for positive economics are increase in overall food production and rise in petroleum price and increase in inflation rate. So these things can be proved with the help of facts and information. So these are the examples for positive economics. The statements represents whether it is positive or normative. Let's conclude the chapter with difference between microeconomics and macroeconomics. In 11th you are learning about microeconomics, and in 12th you will be learning about macroeconomics. So you should know both the economics. The difference between micro and macro is simple. Okay, so microeconomics is just the study of economics at an individual, group or company level. Okay, so everything here we learn only about individual, whereas macroeconomics is the study of national income as a whole. In simple, we can differentiate micro and macro. If we study the income of one person, one individual's income, then it is called microeconomics. On the other hand, if we study the income of the whole economy, that is national income, so that is the concept of macroeconomics. Microeconomics focus on issues that affect individuals and companies. Macroeconomics focus on issues that affect the economy as a whole. There are many other difference of micro and macroeconomics. I will send you the PDF of difference between micro and macroeconomics. You can go through that. If you have any doubt, you can clarify with me. To conclude today's session, we learned about the solution for central problems of an economy, that is PPC curve, production possibility curve. Its meaning, the schedule, the assumptions and production possibility curve, its properties and marginal opportunity cost, the shapes of PPC, that is concave, convex and straight line, and rotation and shift of PPC. Then about positive and normative economics, and finally we concluded with micro and macroeconomics. Hope you understood all the concepts. If you have doubts, you can clarify with me. Thank you. Have a